So in my 20s in North Carolina, at University of North Carolina, I was working at a preschool while I was going through college. One of my parents, she was clearly pregnant. She said, I'm gonna have a baby. Do you want this baby? I've already went to social services. So I never really gave her an answer because I was only 20 years old. I just got married and it wasn't our arrangement to have children. It was a setup. However, 10 days later, she called me and she was in labor. I just simply spun into action and I went and got her. I took her to the hospital. She is, of course, white. Her other daughter that I was watching in the preschool appears to be biracial, half black, half white. She tells me that she's going to have a biracial little boy and she wants me to have this baby. She doesn't tell me any explanations, reason why. She is just completely adamant that she cannot keep this child and that if I am not gonna take the baby, she's already made arrangements. She was just my friend and it didn't matter if the baby was gonna be a boy or a girl, if the baby was gonna be purple or whatever, I was just gonna love the baby. So basically I took her to the hospital and 5 hours later she was having a baby. And I knew, my husband was not there, he was in the Marine Corps. I knew that I was gonna need a lawyer and that we were gonna have to do this the right way. Because I believe she tried to check into the hospital under my name and then they asked her who the father was. It was gonna be my husband. Well, first of all, we are two different shades.
Definitely.
Okay, hello, so that wasn't gonna work. So I don't really know all the backstory, and 24 years later, I still don't have all the backstory, and because she and I can pick up the phone and call each other, I'm gonna leave that like that because one day she's gonna tell me the backstory, but really it doesn't matter because I did exactly what I said I was gonna do, and that was to raise the baby, to love her, and to take care of her. Well, anyway, after we checked into the hospital, we had a baby girl. Very white. My husband was not there. I basically called and I was like, we have a baby. And I mean, I don't really know what all happened, but social services got involved, of course. I called a lawyer because I wanted to make this legitimate because if I was to really have this baby girl, which I didn't really know what was going on, I knew when we left this hospital, I had to have her legally. Or I didn't want my hands on it because I saw some dangerous things because I didn't know the backstory. So I can't help you and support you if I don't know. But all we know is we have a baby here. But once social services gets involved, this is where the story really changes up for me and I'm beginning to notice that this discrimination thing is really huge. They notice that the baby is white. The mother puts on the paper that the baby is biracial, half black, half white. They will not release my adoption stuff until we change the paperwork to that baby is Caucasian, okay? They also tell me that they will take the white baby and that there are plenty of black babies for me if I really need to or want to have a baby. That newborn, white children are in high demand. I'm only 20. I don't know this is like brand new to me to actually hear, like, so you want to take the baby that she says she wants me to have? I mean, I know it sounds really preschool, but this is really what was going on. Because this was a private adoption, meaning, and I did a little research when we used to go to the library. This was a private adoption because she had specifically said, I want Kimberly Holiday and Thomas Holiday, because I was married, we had to adopt her together, to be the parents of this child, and there was nothing that they could do. They had no control over taking the child. The only thing that they could do was hold up my adoption. Month after month, they would come to my home to see if I knew, in my mind, I feel like they were coming to see if she was changing colors or anything like that. My marriage had already begun to dissolve because the baby was not a part of the plan, Okay, we had a lot of play in us, and I really messed up that plan. But I don't have any regrets. I never kept it a secret from Chelsea that she was adopted. I had to because we were different colors, and also too, she probably noticed a lot of fear in me. Anytime Chelsea would get sick, I was a young mom. I ended up divorcing very quickly after that, like when she was a year old, and bringing her back here to Austin. But I was always afraid people would take her from me because that had already been established for me. See, I knew I was gonna need tissue. That had already been established for me. That fear had already been set for me in North Carolina, and because it came to me as an adult in such a huge way, it created a lot of fear in me that people were just gonna take her from me. So even like when Chelsea hurt her finger and it was an accident, I was afraid to take her to the hospital because every time I took her to the hospital, they always called social services. I didn't change our names. I've been married 3 times. First of all, I love my name, Kimberly Holiday. But I also kept the name because it was the only thing that would tie Chelsea and I together, was our names. Because would anybody else really believe it if I told them? Would I always have to go provide, a birth certificate, the adoption papers? What would I have to give you to prove? And so then we could go ahead and get to why we really came here in the first place. I actually go into schools and universities and I'll share the story, but I guess I've always been real sheltered in my story now that I think about it. I gave them the story that I thought would be cute and pretty, but I never talked about any pain that it brought me. I tried to wrap it up like the movie, like The Blind Side, just package it up real cute, but I never really talked about any hurts or any fears that I felt. Just being able to describe to you how it felt to take her to the hospital and think that every time I needed to take her to go get seen, that there was a possibility that someone was gonna take her from me. How can that not condition the way that you parent your child?